Hey guys, welcome to the Speaking Part 2 feedback for our Band 8 and 9 members. Today we've got quite a few speaking responses to get to, all on the topic of a language that you would like to learn. Now let's go ahead and start with RAWEEN's response, and I'll be taking notes on any kind of vocabulary, grammar, or pronunciation issues that I hear along the way. So here we go.
So today I would like to talk about a language that I would like to learn, which is Dutch. Actually, I want to learn this language because I'm planning to move to Netherlands to study medicine. In fact, I already started learning it via some applications on my iPhone. And I have noticed that it's really fun to learn Dutch because it's kind of similar to English in some words, let's say most of the words. And also some of the words are similar to Arabic when it comes to pronunciation. It's an easy language to learn, but it needs to be practiced with others, which is something I really can't do because nobody here I know can speak Dutch. But hopefully, by the time I move to Netherlands, I would be eligible of speaking this language that I can communicate with others over there, at least to know the very basics in a supermarket or in a shop. I have been obsessed to learn this language for over a year now, but I also learned a lot over this year, and I hope that I take a course at their country as well.
Okay, good deal. So, just a couple of individual mistakes. So, Netherlands, you want to use the Netherlands. And then, let's see, you said the word legible. I'm not sure which word you were going for there. I think just capable would be fine. I would be capable of speaking this language. The word legible, pronounced with that sound, describes writing that can be like, that you can read because it's visibly, the appearance of the letters are clear. So it doesn't really have anything to do with communication. It's more just writing clearly, just visually. So I think just capable would be fine here. And then obsessed, we use with, and then you'll want to use the ing verb there. But otherwise, the hesitation was kind of the main thing that I would work on. You left kind of 2 or 3 second gaps between some of your ideas there. And so your fluency score is going to be affected by that. And the examiner might feel like you don't really have anything more to say and might actually just stop you before you're finished. So yeah, try to not take such a long gap. You seem really relaxed when you're speaking, but maybe try to add a little bit more energy. Remember, you're trying to show as much of your skill as possible within that short amount of time. So, be relaxed, but don't be too casual. You want to really get out a lot of language there. So, yeah, overall, not bad, but a couple things that you can improve on. All right, and next up we have Amy. So let's listen to Amy's response.
Okay, I would like to tell something about a language that I would like to know better or learn more. It is actually not a new language for me because it is something that I'm already practicing. So it is the English language. The English is actually a part of my everyday life right now since I am preparing for the IELTS exam, and I tend to really practice my English speaking abilities by reading a lot of articles online, exposing myself to a lot of English-related literatures or movies and TV shows. And I actually find it easier to learn or to adapt to that certain language when I'm learning it visually. So what I'm always doing is just watch a lot of American TV shows and movies. So this English language is actually a universal language, like what they say. So it means that not only here in my country that English are used to communicate with other nationalities or to other people, but it can be used internationally or worldwide. Here in my country, Filipinos are said to have a good command for the English language. And I know that this is one of the advantages of
All right. Pretty nice job, Amy. Yeah. I thought your fluency was pretty good. You kept things going along well. I wasn't sure which strategy you used there. Maybe that was the 5-point strategy, but I couldn't quite catch it. But you did have some good variety of grammar and variety of vocabulary as well. A couple of individual mistakes. Tell has to have the object, a person object after it. You have to tell someone something. Okay? And let's see. I don't remember what this mistake was, actually. It must be just a problem with the. Yeah, just English. And practice my English speaking abilities. You don't really practice abilities, I think. Maybe just practice my English speaking. Yeah. Literature is uncountable. You can say novels or books, but you can't say literatures. What I'm always doing, I would just say what I always do. It's pretty rare to use always with an ing verb. Usually it's just this present simple. And English is used. And the last one, good command of the English language. Okay, so I think your approach was really good. You seem pretty relaxed. You sound pretty natural. Pronunciation is fine. It's just a matter of a few grammar mistakes here and there. Maybe the hardest skill to get to the highest level. But yeah, just pay attention to those mistakes and try to repeat them correctly as often as you can. But nice job, Amy. Good job. Okay, next up we have Deepika. So let's listen to her response.
I'm going to talk about a language which I would like to learn. And from past few years, I'm planning to learn a foreign language, which is French. And it is the second most widely learned language after English. It is so popular in many parts of the country, and it is spoken in more than 50 to 70 countries, especially in Canada, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and in some parts of Africa. Behind its popularity, there are several things why it is so popular among the people. It is because it has lots of career opportunities, and while you're traveling, you can speak to many people in their own language, and this way you deepen the connection and understandings. Even you get a benefit from cross-cultural friendship. Apart from this, being bilingual can broaden the career perspectives, and the person who speaks second language have more job opportunities as per the research. Um, uh, the other thing is when you speak to people while traveling, you uh, get deeper insights into how what is their culture and how the people see the world. So, keeping all these things in mind, I'm planning to learn this language, and for that, I would like to join a language academy, which is in Delhi, a very renowned one, and it is a part of the French language academy. And I'm going to start uh, just enrolling in a basic course and just to sharp my basic skills of this language, and then I'll move to advanced school.
Okay, good deal. Not bad, Deepika. Good. I think overall something you can work on is your intonation. The end of your sentences, you tend to go up like this instead of going down like this. So that going down intonation is going to help separate your sentences so that your ideas flow along a little bit better. Otherwise, just some individual mistakes. So instead of from the past few years, maybe over the past few years. And more than 50 to 70 is kind of strange. More than 50 is okay, but maybe just 50 to 70 countries. It has lots of opportunities. Let's see, maybe it opens up lots of career opportunities is better. The placement of even should go right before the verb in this case. The person who speaks a second language, and I would say a person. You were talking about some kind of research. You said a person who speaks a second language has better job opportunities. And then, oh yes, the last thing, just intonation. So, yep, just a couple grammar things here and there, but overall, pretty good response. Just work on that intonation and you'll be better. All right, next we have Maria. Let's listen to her response here.
Currently, I'm working as a registered nurse here in the United Arab Emirates, where Arabic is their national language. So I've been here for like 7 years, but still I can say that I'm still struggling to speak in Arabic fluently. So in order for me to improve my fluency in spoken Arabic, I might enroll in a short course where my hospital is offering right now. So basically it's a free Arabic class for all their employees. So Arabic is widely spoken in the hospital where I'm working at because the majority of our patients are locals who only speaks Arabic. So if I would be fluent in speaking Arabic, it would definitely help my communication skills, because language barrier is really a big problem for a health professional like me, because it would be difficult for me to convey what I really wanted to tell my patients, and as well as for me to really understand what they want as a patient. So this better understanding of Arabic could lead to better understanding also of their culture that would help me to.
Okay, nice job, Maria. Yeah, the really good response. Your fluency is getting there, pretty good. You could use just a little bit more intonation. It's a little bit flat at the moment, but for the most part, you're doing a good job. Just be a little careful of individual mistakes. That or which my company is offering. In the hospital where I'm working. Actually, whenever you use where, you don't need to use this preposition at the end. Let's see, locals who only speak Arabic. If I were fluent, and it would be difficult, it is difficult for me. Yeah, so you said, because I don't speak Arabic very well, it is difficult for me to convey what I want to say to my clients or to my patients. So not it would be, but it is difficult. Yeah, so watch out for those woulds. There's a couple of would situations that you should avoid. But overall, pretty nice response. Good job, Maria. All right, next up we have Christian. Let's listen to this response here.
Okay, I would like to talk about my friend Yukihiro. He's a Japanese guy, and we studied in a college, in an English college in Sydney, for maybe 8 or 10 months. And he, in several times, he tried to invite me to go to Japan, but I thought, it's not pretty comfortable for me maybe travel to Japan because I don't know that language. Actually, I just speak Spanish and I'm learning in English, and I see the grammatic, the grammar, speaking, listening, writing is completely different. If there is something particular in between English and Spanish, is the affinity. There is any affinity about the signs, about the sounds, about the pronunciations, but with Japanese it doesn't happen. So I think it's important, if in order to travel to Japan, it's important maybe get any course, one course, maybe online course, or maybe in a Japanese language academy, college. But it's not easy, actually. There is not too much in my country. It's not easy get help, but I will try because.
Okay, nice job, Christian. Yeah, very good. So very comprehensible, easy to understand. Fluency could improve just a little bit, but overall your pronunciation is, I think, getting better. A couple little slips here and there, but overall it sounded great. A couple things to fix. It's not very comfortable for me. Pretty is good, but not in a negative sentence. Okay. There is some affinity. Same way, any is only used in that negative. There is not any affinity, but use some for a positive sentence. And it's important to get, and it's not easy to get. And I noticed this a lot on your essay this week. With easy or difficult, make sure you're using to before this verb. Okay? Overall, pretty nice job, Christian. Good work. Okay, next up we have Mandy. Let's listen to Mandy's response.
Well, actually, ever since I started working with a Spanish doctor, I became interested in learning the Spanish language because I find it very sophisticated, and I know that it is one of the most commonly used language all over the world. So I started asking her about different Spanish terms and Spanish phrases. Well, in fact, I also searched some of the online courses about learning a new language, and I am planning to enroll it like in 2 months. Well, I remember one time when we had our Spanish patient, and I started greeting him in Spanish, and he was really glad and amazed by some of my words, because he told me that I was a very fast learner. And what is actually funny is that he also speak in my own language, like in Filipino. So we were like very surprised, because we speak in our opposite language. And in my opinion, Spanish is really one of the best language in the world, and I really wanted to learn it in few months, because I think it will give me an edge, because there are several Spanish countries to where I can work in the future. Well, being capable of communicating in Spanish will give me also the chance.
All right. Very good response, Mandy. Yeah, so very clear pronunciation. Just a couple of grammar mistakes, but otherwise, I think you did a good job taking the topic and making it personal, as we've had quite a few people do in this week's responses. So, very good. Let's see. Searched. Usually, search, you need to use a preposition for. So, yeah, I would put that in there. He also speaks, in my own language, one of the best languages in the world. So make sure when you use this expression, one of, the grammar is kind of funny. It's one of this group, one member of the group of best languages in the world. So it seems strange. You're using, the meaning is singular, but you're going to use a plural noun here. And then instead of Spanish countries, let's go with Spanish-speaking countries. Okay, so overall, really nice job, Andy. Just a few mistakes to clean up. Good work. All right, next we have Marco. Let's listen to Marco's response.
This is a very tricky question because I really would like to learn two different languages, which is French and Russian. French was the most important language in medieval times. If you think William the Conqueror invaded England in the 11th century, and since then the most important language was French. The royalty and important people, they spoke this language, whereas common servants, they spoke English. As everybody knows, English now is a mixture of language, and French was involved. In addition, when I was 8 years old, I used to watch documentaries regarding sea life. Jacques Cousteau, a French biologist, was the most famous person at the time who fought for our environment, and he used to show sea life as well as environmental changes on programs which probably are the most important memories of my childhood. On the other hand, Russian is going to be the language of the space. As everybody knows, Russian, if you would like to become an astronaut, you need to speak and to learn Russian. Many people who have been in the space station need to learn this code in order to communicate and to be able to fly all the space aircraft, which are made normally for.
Okay, good, nice job. Yeah, very few mistakes and really high-level language in a lot of ways. So the way that you organized your response allowed you to use some pretty big vocabulary words, some kind of less common words and phrases. So great job. Let's see, William the Conqueror invaded England. I think this could be just a pronunciation thing. Make sure you get the D and the D, invaded. And then commentaries. Focus on the first syllable there. And I think you might have meant documentaries. Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, if you're going to use the word commentary, make sure you use the emphasis on the first syllable. Here you want to say a French biologist who fought for our environment. The language of space, without the. And finally, aircraft. What's your pronunciation of air? Aircraft. Although in this case you might have meant something more like spacecraft. Not really sure, but yeah, if you're going to say aircraft, just watch that pronunciation of air. All right, so overall, really nice job, Marco. Yeah, really good response, high-level language used, just a few mistakes. All right, and our final response is from Shiva. So let's go ahead and listen to Shiva's response, and I'll try to catch a couple mistakes for you to fix.
Today I would like to talk about the language which I want to learn in the near future, and the language is Marathi. I want to learn this language particularly for my wife and my in-laws, because my wife speaks Marathi and she belongs to a different state altogether. I got married about 2 years back, and prior to that I know my wife for 4 years, but still I had no intention learning this language, mainly because we were speaking through different common languages like Hindi and English, and we were pretty comfortable speaking those languages. Probably that's what demotivated me not to learn the languages. It was only my recent visit to our hometown. I felt like I required a translator to speak anything which I wanted to say. The local people didn't understand any other language apart from Marathi. I felt embarrassed for 10 days because I hardly spoke to anyone, which is completely opposite to the nature what I am. I'm really talkative. I like to interact with people. Probably the language barrier made me to sit quiet for 10 days. And let me talk to you in detail how I would go about learning this language. I have already purchased a dictionary for reference, and what I'll do is I'll memorize 2 to 3 sentences every day and rehearse it in front of my wife, understand the logic behind and the meaning behind the sentence. Probably after 5 to 6 months, I would have memorized about 100 to 150 sentences, which will help me in communicating with the local people. I hope I plan to visit her hometown again in the coming 1 year, and I'll be able to communicate with them effectively and have a good bonding association.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, good. Good job making this topic very personal. You added that nice story there, so really good. Let's see. Just as far as individual mistakes go, I had no intention of learning this language. To speak anything, to say anything. Yeah. So speak cannot have an object after it. So you need to use say in that case. The language barrier made me to stay quiet. I would just say made me stay quiet, or you can say forced me to stay quiet. So with force, you use to. With make, you do not. And then 2 or 3 sentences every day. This is probably just a pronunciation thing. When you have S and then another S, you just have to make the sound twice. Sentences. And then in the future, I will have memorized. Yeah, will have memorized, or hope to have memorized, plan to have memorized, something like that. But would is not really for the future, so you need to use something future looking. All right, nice job. And that's the last one for today. So I hope that you guys are able to attend the Q&A. I know I'm posting this a little bit later than usual for our Monday, so I apologize for that, but I hope to see you guys in the Q&A. All right, take care. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.